Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site. All right, so give me one moment and we'll get going here. Kind of a raw and uncut today. I want you guys to kind of know what it's like to run a show or whatever, since this will be our final show today. I want to first of all thank you all for tuning in. A lot of times we don't get to see what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, so let's have a little fun on our final show today. Thank you for being here. I'm totally informal on purpose, right? We're just gonna have a little fun today. It's a lot of work. All right, it's a lot of work. I will be monitoring the comment section and whatever, so feel free to put your comments in there. Thank you all for being here for this last show today. All right, I see Yashar Allah is here. All right, thank you for being here. Make sure you shout out your state, where you're from, where you're watching from. So I'm starting raw. This is what it looks like. I'm not trying to be all pretty for you today. All right, just so you kind of get a context. Now, before I even came on, I had the quick shave and everything. So you see me do that. I've done a video on me shaving and all that kind of stuff. So getting prepared for the program. Let's see. Give me one moment. So I wish I had a remote camera with me, but I don't. So you'll kind of, so I got to put the lapel mic on. I would usually have a shirt on right over the top. I'm kind of hide the mic. I would be watching videos. Let's see if you can see here. I'm not sure how far this camera will go, but I would usually be watching videos. You can see the screen there. I'd be monitoring and watching old videos to make sure that my content is consistent. Kind of give you a pan around. So I just came out of that bathroom there trying to get all prettied up for you. Or I'll just cut my hair, door out there. This is where I monitor everything that's going on my phone. Little stand here. All right. And then, there's a little area over there, little couch and chair and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm not sure how far this camera, but I'll just kind of give you a 360 view. This is kind of, you can see my messy table over there with all my paperwork. It's got a little kitchenette over there. This is the layer. This is where I get ready for the show and everything like that. So let me see if I can put this back up here. So it's a lot of work. And I just want to make sure I let you all know that, on this final show. It's a lot of work to put together programming like this. You don't see behind the camera a lot of times. So, you might take it for granted that it's, just a hobby per se or whatever. But, for the sake of content providers and whatever, this is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to coordinate a show. Let's see if I can straighten it out. Coordinate a show to captivate your audience for a number of hours. A lot goes into it. Okay. And there you go. Is that better? That's all right. Final show though. But anyways, I really appreciate you for being here. We got 11 people on watching right now. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Looking at the comment section. All right. Let me see. One moment. Your questions or comments are appreciated. Shout out your state, where you're watching or viewing from. Yashar Allah. All right. Gives us the muscle arms. All right. Yalad Gobar. Yalad Gobar. Yalad Gobar. Okay. Connecticut Republic. Okay. Awesome. Connecticut. Albert Taylor says morning. All right. Albert Taylor is in New York. We got New York. Respect to you. Roblox family is in the house. All right, for our final show. Terry Camp, Grand Rising from Georgia. We got Georgia in the house. Boston, Massachusetts. All right. What kind of camera is that? This is a DepStech, D-E-P-S-T-E-C-H, DepStech, and it says 1080p. It's plug and play. I used to have, like, when I was doing these shows before y'all, before I did this new setup, I had like a huge Canon camera that was sitting like right here in my face. It was just like right in my face. Like, it was annoying. I mean, one of the big old school ones. It was sitting right here in my face. So lighting is always an issue. You know, you got lights. I got lights everywhere. You just have to take my word for it. But lighting is always an issue. You got glare spots, you know, especially if you're wearing glasses, which reminds me, I need to go get my glasses. I will in a little bit. Curtis Lincoln says, keeping it real. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Georgia Republic, Fred Mitchell. All right. So that's 2 Georgians we got in the house. Yeah. Terry and, Fred Mitchell in Georgia. Awesome. Looks like California is in the house. What up, Cali? All right. I wish I could pronounce, let's see if I can pronounce your name. Janine Washington? I think that's how you pronounce it. All right. Welcome, California. AMD is in Delaware. Wow, we got a lot of East Coast. What's up with East Coast? What's up with East Coast? East Coast, y'all don't play. Y'all be about your business. All right. We got East and West Coast. Okay. Can't wait for you to review your passport application. In the meanwhile, can you explain what your explanatory statement looks like with your passport application? Okay. All right. We could do that. Janine says yes. Oh, I got it right. All right. Very good. Welcome, Janine. Haven't seen you around. You catching us on our final show. But just don't forget, it is the final public show that we are doing, but we are doing our own exclusive and private thing from now on the Patreon. All right. And I'll put up the information. I'll go over the announcements, how you can contact us and become a member over at our Patreon. This information, listen, hands down, and y'all know y'all been around, hands down, our platform here that we have created here are talking about, discussing, and handling matters that you won't find anywhere else. And if you do, usually check the dates, because it's going to be something they're going to have come after what we have established here at KnowledgeWell Media. And that's going to continue, but it's just going to continue over at our Patreon. Okay. We're done here on this public platform. My angels have told me, hey, it's time for, because we're at the final stages. As Yashar Allah was just explaining, we've done this passport process our own way. No one has done it the way we're doing it. Not only that, but we also have submitted redress of grievances to the United States government, as well as our particular state governments. And so we are waiting on responses in line with the things that we have ascertained and obtained out of the law itself. There is no ignoring this, because you would have to disqualify or discredit your own law system if you do not, act in accordance to the law. So that's up to them if they're going to do that. Now, the other part of the story is that as of, I believe, this week, we will be filing officially. Now, this is on behalf of all of us. It's not a class action, however, but all we need is someone to get through or essentially make a hole in the wall, right? You remember the movies the old primeval days, or how they used to battle with catapults and big stones and rocks, and the wall seems like it's impenetrable, and finally you hit it with something and the wall starts to, a little hole is formed, and then you keep hitting that same hole, and eventually that wall is compromised. And so all it takes is for one of us to apply, to properly apply. I don't believe that the powers are necessarily against us finding and using and exercising the remedy. I don't believe that. I believe it's a game. I believe it's like, when are these people going to wake up, stop with the sovereign citizen thing, and do this thing the right way? I truly believe that. And I think we're about to demonstrate that. So my point was that my angels, my advisors, my angels had spoken in my ear this week and said, it's time to stop. It's time to, dial back, because we're already there. The book is about to be closed. We've done our due diligence, and now it's time for us to reap our reward. Do you see what I'm saying? And make no mistake about it, this journey is not for everybody. We're not supposed to take everybody with us. Oh, because some people are out there scorching the earth. You want to tear everything down. I don't care about what's truth or not. I don't want to participate. I don't want to play. Tear it all down. Some people are like that. But I'm putting on the record that we were never that way. Never. We were truly and diligently hungry for the truth, the knowledge, and we wanted to apply it in such a way that it actually helps the system and helps the people. It was never about trying to tear the system down. All right. We do that, we all starve. And I don't particularly want to leave nothing for my children in the future. But if we don't have a system, if we tear it down, that's exactly what's going to happen. You want a third world country to come over and exploit the weaknesses that the people internally have caused in their own system. Yeah, we've never had to deal with that. But there are people here that have come from a third world country that know what it's like when someone comes and takes over their country. And now you're trying to live the same way you once did, and you can't, because there's a foreign government that has taken you over. So the answer is not to tear down your system. The answer is to find the corruption in the system and to deal with it. And we established and set up the government. So therefore, we have the power to redress the government. Okay? But there's a certain way to do it. The government can't just let thousands of people converge on a governmental building and try to tear it down. Because guess what? At that particular moment in time, the rest of the world is watching, and they're coming too. If we just fold up and start tearing down our own system, all of our fortification and all of our weaknesses will be exploited. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. But what we do want to do is play within the lane that we are supposed to play in. Okay, and it's wide open for us to do. And we are convinced that we have the remedy, and this is the year of application. It's only March. I've been saying that 2023 would be the year of application, and that's where we're at. And now that we've gone on ahead and started to apply, all right, it's time to reap the reward. All right. And I always said, since 2022, when we made the change into the year of application, I've always said that I'm going to remember all of those that stuck with us. All right. Take it for what it's worth. Going back to the comment section before we go to our announcements to get ready. And then I'm going to go to a commercial break and actually get dressed. All right. Kimberly Miller is here. My angel, one of my angels. Greetings. All right. And Curtis Lincoln, Washington is in the house. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Roblox family 777, my favorite numbers. You remember. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Heather Bell is in the house. Grand Rising from the Republic of Pennsylvania. East. We all over the East Coast. All right. Awesome. Thank you all for being here. Make sure that we have the most thumbs up. How about that? All right. For our final show. Can we go out with a bang? Can we go out with a bang? All right. And Grand Rising from the Republic of Maryland. Joseph Henson is in the house. Thank you for being here, Joe. Thank you very much. And all right. Let's see what else we got here. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for turning up for our final show. We got Candice Marie. Greetings from Colorado. All right, Colorado in the house. Colorado in the house. Awesome. Thank you all for being here. So, hey, it's your show. This is the final one. I would suggest you get all the questions out. I'll stay on as long as the questions are respectful and we're going, which I've never had a problem with. So we will deal with the topics. I will divulge because this will be the final show. And after this, I will be starting to take down all of the information, the YouTube. I'll be closing off. I may leave up some things, but it's, you know, honest to God, I for years, I've tried to encourage the participation. I've tried to encourage the support financially because I put in a lot of time, a lot of work at this, and it just wasn't there. And so that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you just got to take and go elsewhere. Remember, even in the scriptures, it talked about that the prophet hath not honor amongst his own people. And so a lot of times you'll find, even in the entertainment industry, they recommend that where you establish yourself as far as recording and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm in Wisconsin, so if I started my music career here, they recommend that you leave your hometown, go out to a foreign state, right, and get big there. Start doing concerts and start doing things there. Start selling your CDs there, because once the people the people in your own town, they're not gonna necessarily support you, right? Because they're like, yeah, you're one of us. You're nobody special. But when you go somewhere where people don't know you, they tend to respect you more. They tend to hold you up. And so my point is that even in the scripture, again, it says that a prophet hath not honor amongst his own people. How do your family members make you feel when you accomplish something? Don't you feel like, oh man, I feel like they hating on me, like they don't support me, whatever? Because what is the saying? Familiarity breeds contempt, right? Because that's just Courtney. Yeah. Oh, what? He got a triple double, or you know what I mean? Like in basketball. Oh, so what? I mean, that's Courtney. See, they don't see it like everybody else does. All right. And so sometimes you got to separate yourself. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but sometimes you got to leave your people. It's your comfort zone, but you get stronger, you get better. You do things more professionally when you don't have those who have always known you on your back. You picking up what I'm putting down? All right. So same thing here. And so I'm not hating. I'm not blaming anybody specifically. I'm not saying, all I'm saying is that I have to do, in accordance with natural law, in accordance with where the universe has placed me. Okay. We all have to graduate. We all have to grow. And so if I stayed here and continue to do this, right, in opposition to where I feel like the natural law and the universe is taking me, then I won't be my best self for anybody. Okay. And so it's time to grow up. It's time to move on. And it's very uncomfortable. I would rather just sit here for the next 10 years and do this, but it's very uncomfortable. And all that's going to happen is I'm going to disenfranchise everybody here. That's all that's going to happen. And so we got to make the right decision. And that right decision is not always comfortable. Okay. And so with that being said, sometimes you got to get away from those who know you the best. Okay. If you want to grow. All right. Going back. Oh, we got New York in the house. Reverend Roberts in the house. All right. And KB777. Thank you very much for those sevens. Texas is in his house. Daphne Quinn, what's going on? Great to see you. All right. So we're going to have a great show. Again, this is your time. All right. This is our final show. So make sure you get all your questions in. All right. And bring those adversarial ones too. I mean, I know some of y'all, he seems a little suspect. I'm not sure he knows what he's talking about. Bring it. Let's do it. Let's do it today. How about that? All right. So I really appreciate you. Let's see what else we got. We must plant our seeds in fertile and rich soil. Absolutely. And how do you promote fertile and rich soil? It has to be cultivated, right? It has to be turned over every once in a while, right? Break up the fallow ground, the scripture says. Otherwise, it becomes pressed down. You know what I'm saying? It becomes hard. You get weeds start to grow. The nutrients are getting sucked out by the weeds, right? And so you got to move. That's the whole point. What is a pond as opposed to a stream? Which one would you prefer to drink out of? Probably the stream, right? Because it's constantly flowing. A pond may grow stagnant, right? The moss and the greenery on the top of it, it doesn't look like it's potable water to drink, right? But a stream usually is nice and crispy, clear and everything because it's constantly moving. So don't be a pond, be a stream. How you like that? All right. So very good, Rev Rob. Thank you for that. Okay. So are y'all ready? Are we ready to do this for our final show? Make sure here, let me do the announcements and then we'll take a quick break. All right. So, hey, just keeping it real, right? We keeping it real today, right? All right. So no donations for probably a few months. So if you feel so inclined, right, for our final show, you got a couple extra dollars, go ahead and hit us up right there at the Cash App, all right? $ American Consulate. Let's see what you can do for your boy, his family, and the business. All right. So also, if you want to contact us, even after today's show, right? Because this will no longer be, then KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com is the way to do it. All right. I didn't ask you how the sound is and video quality is, but I'm assuming it's okay because nobody has said anything. So KnowledgeWell for you at gmail.com. That's how you can contact us, even if you don't see us here. Okay. Hey, I'd like to hear from you. But you better be over at Patreon, okay? And here's how you get to Patreon, all right? So every one of you, get on over to patreon.com because I really want to keep the family together, all right? It's just that the family will be the family. I told you the ARC door is closing. Well, it's closed as of after today. The ARC door is closed. So if you know the parable, the story, if you want to believe that it was an actual event of Noah, all right, people had 120 years to get on that doggone ark, right? And they made jokes, they made fun. It's going to rain. It's going to rain. Yeah, sure. It's never rained before on the earth. What is this rain he's talking about? This water, this precipitation that's going to fall from the sky. You know, the earth is flat. We're under a dome. Yeah, whatever. So, and everybody laughed about it. Nobody believed the aliens are coming, right? But lo and behold, it happened. You know, the first couple raindrops, people started looking around like, well, I'll be, but they still didn't believe it, right? It's like, that's a fluke, all right? And then the lightning started to happen. What the? That's weird. You know what I'm saying? But it was still normalcy bias set in, right? People, what is will always be. I ain't changing nothing. I like the way things have always been, right? That's normalcy bias. It's the human condition, right? What it was frog soup. Did Mama tell you about frog soup? How do you cook a frog, right? You don't just immediately turn the flame up and start the water to boil immediately, right? You slowly turn it up, and over time, it went to feeling like a great bath, right? It was nice and warm and cozy, right? The next thing you know, he starts sweating. It's getting a little hot in here, the frog is saying, right? But by the time he or she or it realizes it, too late. Right, you're cooked. So that's the human condition. So this is such as the parable of Noah and Noah's Ark, where the people, they had gotten so accustomed to him day to day sounding the alarm. It's gonna rain. I promise you, it's gonna be catastrophic. You better get on this ark. All right, whatever, dude. You're sitting there, your tinfoil hat wearing dude. You're sitting there building this huge megalith, this ark, and it's never rained before. And you look like an idiot. You look like a fool. Well, that's kind of what has been going on. So I had been warning, sounding the alarm since probably mid to end of 2022 that, the well is going to dry up. Pun intended, knowledge well. The well is going to dry up, the information here. And because this food is for the children, okay? It is. It's for the children. It's for the people of like mind, fervor, the people that persevere, we're not just here just to hear, we actually apply and we want to do. It's the year of application. So it's fitting that we graduate, we move from presenting all the information to the public and move into a certain realm, Patreon, right there on the screen, where we are the doers. Okay. So that's who's coming over to Patreon. So if you're a doer, it's time to apply. All right. The ARC door is now, after the show, officially closed, and get on over there. Sign up. All right. I'm just saying. All right. So with that being said, what else we got? before we move on. None of this is construed as legal, or should be construed as legal advice. You wouldn't dare. No, this is for education and information. Got it? Get it? Good. All right. So we should have plenty of thumbs up. I would hope for this final show. Let's bang that thing. Bang it. All right. With that being said, what else we got? What else we got? If we have some guests that want to come on, I'll put the link up. You got anything you want to say? Anything you want to challenge? This is your show. Let's have fun. Let's do it. Let's do it. I can also put up the call-in line there. Give me a moment so I can make. I think it should be already set up. But the call-in line, the number right there, 414-326-5284. I will double check to make sure it is in fact set up. But again, this is your time. Make sure that you get your questions in. Also, the AmericanConsulate@gmail.com is alive and well. We are auditing law. Okay, we are not practicing law. We are auditing the law, and we do this to make sure, you know, in accordance with the First Amendment right to redress of grievances. Right, we have that right to make sure that government is doing exactly what it's supposed to do as intended by the founding fathers. So we have created AmeriConsulate Law, where we actively educate and in some ways assist people. Okay, so take it for what it's worth. It is now there. All right, we got a lot of exciting things happening too. We are starting a new business. You're going to hear about it. It's called I'll make the announcement over at Patreon. Okay, and this is going to provide job opportunities. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk more about that and more in the private though. I shouldn't put it out there in the public. I might get beat up. Okay, let's see where we're at as far as the comments. All right. So Daphne Quinn says, I understand you have to move on because we all must move. However, we've made these bonds for a reason, even if it doesn't seem like it now. Oh, absolutely. I was just talking actually to another individual that went way back from the beginning about, you know, the tribes. The reason why the universe has put people in your path either has to do with a need that the universe has right now, or something in the distant future. Remember the 360 concept. All right, you may rub elbows with people in 2023 and then wonder, why the heck did I even have that friendship? What was the whole point of running into them? And they said that to me. And then next thing you know, going on that revolution, right? Then you find out why later. That's just the way, it's the way it is. It's the way of the universe, okay? And so, yes, you are correct, Daphne Quinn, all right? If you came through here, there's a reason why you came through here. Even if you came through here once, you got what you needed. Now you're supposed to take that, right? How do you think these different flowers get in different places? It's a bird that picks up a flower or something to eat, and then a seed drops out of the flower or whatever it has in its mouth and lands where in a foreign soil or whatever, and then it grows there. So now you're wondering, how did that tree, that plant ever get to that place? You know what I'm saying? That's how. Okay, so that's how we are too. It's no different. I mean, this is universal here. But great comment, Daphne Quinn. I agree 100%. Yashar Allah says, also, can we please jump into the conversation of nationality? More specifically, how does an individual properly use identification versus ID, individual examples? Okay, driver's license, passport, etc. Okay, all right, that's what okay. So what I need to do before we go any further, keep coming with your comments. I'm going to go and put on a pullover or sweater or something, right? We're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do that, and if anybody feels so inclined to test to see that the call-in line is working, feel free to call in. I'll put it back up here one more time. Get your questions in, all right, for this final show. I'll put the call-in line there. All right. And let me go put on a shirt real quick. All right. And we'll come right back. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll come right back. I'll be right back.
Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site.
All right, and we are back. Whew, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I had to run there, throw on a shirt, fix the mic. I think it's fixed. All right, put on my Spidey. Yeah, we going. All right, let's get back. Okay, so I better keep up with the comments, these questions. I think it's Yashar Allah has great questions. Let's deal with these here. Get another one of these. Forgot my glasses. All right, next commercial, I'll put on glasses. Oh. Y'all ready? Let's do it. All right, so the first question was, let's go back. What was the first question? Anybody remember what the first question was? I got to go back to the comments here. And I'm squinting because I forgot my glasses. Can you, okay, here it is. Let's go with this. I got to tear this down little by little here because I don't want to get too far behind. All right, so the question is, can you explain what your explanatory statement looked like with your passport application? All right, so real talk. All right, can I talk freely today? Huh? Can I be myself today? Can I be, okay, thank you. I heard Justin. So there ain't nothing special about it. The only thing what I did is I used all of the elements of law necessary, all right, to cause the executive department of the United States, okay, to do their doggone job. Walk the law. It's called walking the law, all right? Do not commit fraud on a legal document. They warn you. You're signing this under penalty of perjury. If y'all don't believe that they are, how should I put this? If y'all don't believe that they are going to come around and see who's committing perjury on these forms, if y'all don't believe that they're coming, I don't know what to tell you, but they're coming. Mark my word on this final show. You mark my word. And then, hit me up at that knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. You start to hear people topple like dominoes. Do not commit fraud on any. There is no reason, okay? Listen, hear me. There is no reason to lie to these people, these governments. There's no reason to. If you play the game the way the game was intended and meant to be played, you don't have to lie. You should know who you are by now. Okay, you should know whether you're a legal entity, artificial person, commercial entity, or a human entity. You have to know that. And so if you do know that, there's no reason to lie. If it's asking, now, first of all, the passport is for citizens and nationals of the United States. Does anybody disagree with me? Because if you do, I have something for you. If you do disagree with that, I'll show you something. Here, let me show you something. Because it explicitly states that. It says what the passport is for. Got to bear with me because I gotta get my glasses. I'll get them on the next break. Okay. You tell me what this means. If it doesn't mean what I just said, then you tell me what it means, and then I'll believe what you say. Okay? Okay? Here, let me take this down. You tell me what this means. Where's it at? Eligibility to use this form. You see it? Here, I'll blow it up a little bit. This form is used to apply for a U.S. passport book and or card, right? At an acceptance facility. Okay? A passport agency, blah, 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 right? This U.S. passport is a travel document attesting to one's identity. Listen, this U.S. passport is a travel document attesting to one's identity and issued to what? U.S. citizens. So it's identifying who is a U.S. citizen and what else? Or it's either or, non-citizen U.S. national. That's what the passport form, the DS-11, is for. It does not give you any other options, does it? It's in this or that. Now, does a United States citizen owe allegiance to the United States? Permanent. Yes. Ask yourself a second question. Does a non-citizen U.S. national owe permanent allegiance to the United States? The answer is yes. If you want me to prove it, let's see. Say prove it. Or if you take my word for it, because I've already done this, but I'll do it again. If you need me to prove that to you, then say prove it in the comment section. But I'm telling you straight out, a U.S. citizen and a non-citizen U.S. national they both owe permanent allegiance to the United States. And so therefore, this U.S. passport application is attesting to one's identity. Now, if you've been here for any amount of time, you know that I define I found the legal definition of identity. It means sameness. Sameness as you claim to be and sameness as you're accused of being. So therefore, all it's saying here is that this application proves who you say you are or who we tell you are, basically. And if you're applying for through a DS-11 form for a U.S. passport, you either are a citizen owing permanent allegiance or a non-citizen U.S. national owing permanent allegiance. But either way the cookie crumbles, you owe permanent allegiance to the United States. Crickets. I mean, I'm just saying, that's all it is. So now let's go back to your question. Okay, let's go back to your question. Your question is, can you explain what your explanatory statement looked like with your passport? I didn't lie. I told the truth. You see, because I realized something with real eyes, that the U.S. citizen on whose behalf I am filling this application out for is a U.S. citizen. Now, what's most important is, who am I in relation to that U.S. citizen? Yeah, that's the real issue, because if you did anything else, guess what? It shows that you are what's known as legally incompetent. It shows that you do not have a capacity. What is a capacity? If you are saying that you and the legal entity are one and the same, meaning you identify as the legal entity, then you lose legal capacity, because the separate entity provides a capacity for you to participate in commerce and trade. But lo and behold, people are in error saying they are the legal entity. So therefore, you lose legal capacity. And we just started. So again, to answer your question, I told the truth. And then my explanatory statement basically used law to show the difference between myself as the capacity, legal capacity I'm acting in on behalf of the entity, which is the US citizen. Are you picking up what I just put down? All right, moving on. It's going to be a great show. Oh, and this is coming down. You do know that because all of it's coming down. So make sure you take notes. Make sure you get your questions in. Just saying. Did anybody try the call-in line yet? All right. Well, where's the next question? Made these bonds for a reason. I understand you guys. Okay. Also, can we please jump into the conversation of nationality? Absolutely. Well, we kind of just did, but okay. More specifically, how does an individual properly use identification versus ID individual examples? Okay. Let's do it. So, what is nationality? Well, there's no need for me to tell you. Let's let the fingers do the talking. All you got to do, and this is all I do. You see me do it every week. Legal. I just do this. Wait, let me get back to the screen. Let me get back to the screen. Is that good? Well, how about this one? Is that better? No, let's do this one. All right, let's get back to the screen. Here. So, I see what you're doing, and I don't like it. Hold on. Stay with me. All right. Here we go. So check these out. Okay, legal. So all you do is type in whatever you want to know. Just type in the legal definition of nationality. All right. Nationality is a legal identification. Why is everything having to do with identification? Because it's very important that they get you to be the same as the entities or the legal capacities or whatever. Why? Because they need participants. What's the whole purpose of creating citizens? So that you have legal subjects or members, right? What good is a program? What good is a club if it has no members? Right? Oh, we're gonna. Oh. Somebody remind me. Just put Blackstone in the comment section as we go a little bit further on. Don't let me forget. I think we'll end the show with that or something because talk about power. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. All right. So, anyways, they want you to. It's all about identification. Who do you say you are? And Eminem says what? I am who I say I am. Right. And so that's what it all comes down to. What do you identify as, or who do you identify as? Watch. So, look, nationality. Oh, let me take this down so they can see, so the people can see. Nationality. This is just Wikipedia, but it don't matter. It don't matter. Trust me on this. Nationality is a legal identification of a person in international law. Wow. Establishing the person as a subject, a national of a sovereign state, a subject. Oh, the king is very much alive. The king has subjects. A national of a sovereign. It affords the state jurisdiction over the person. So what is nationality all about? It's about identifying you, right, internationally, right, as a subject of the king, right? And then it establishes the authority or jurisdiction that that particular king has over their subjects. That's what it is. All right. Now, let's get back to your question. All right. So your question is, more specifically, how does an individual properly use identification? Okay. So I'm glad you put it that way. So let's look at the SS5 form real quick before I give my dissertation. Let's look at the SS5. Come on now. Let's look at the SS5, which people are misconstruing. Let me hide that. A lot of buttons to push. I wish I had a camera so you could see exactly what it takes to do what I'm doing right now. It's not easy at all. All right. Here's the SS5 form, Social Security form. This is what you fill out to get as an application to get the Social Security card. Okay. SS5 form is called. You can see it right there. And so if you go down to page 2, all right, focus right here because we're talking about identity, nationality, right? Boo-doo-doo-doo, right? Evidence of identity. How do you prove that you are the same is what they're asking. Here's how you can prove that you are the same. Same as what? You'll see. You, the applicant, the human with the ink pen in their hand. Okay. You must provide current, unexpired evidence of identity, sameness, in your legal name. What? In your legal name. In my given name? No, idiot. I said in your legal name. You see what I'm saying? Why? Now, look, remember I said in the last slide, I believe it was, that whenever there's an adjective before the noun, what kind of name? An adjective is a descriptor. It describes the noun that comes after it. So it's a type of name. What kind of name? A legal name. It's not a given name. They're not one and the same. Okay? So watch this. They want you to provide evidence. So indict yourself. Aren't we afforded protection from incrimination or self-incrimination? Huh? Is that a Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution? But yet here, something's wrong because they want you to indict your own self, to provide evidence that you are the same as the legal name. And then they tell you how to do it. All right. So how do you identify as the legal name? Well, ask yourself this question. Who gets a legal name? We covered that too, I think on the last live or the one before that maybe. Okay. What's the importance, the relevance of a legal name, and who can have a legal name? Huh? Only a legal entity. And not only that, but the legal entity has to be separate and distinct. It has to be able to stand on its own. It cannot be a division or a branch per se of a business. It has to stand alone. In other words, how about this? You were raised by your parents, right? When living in their house, you had to follow their rules, right? You could not be independent. You could not have your own name until you were of age, of legal age, or what's known as the age of the majority, to be out on your own, and you take on your own identity at that particular point in time, don't you? Okay, enough said. This is no different. This is no different. You must provide current, unexpired evidence of identity in your legal name. Who can have a legal name? Only that which is separate and distinct, standing on its own. Has to be independent. Okay. So when you incorporate, let's say you want to start a business, right? So in your state, you incorporate and you form a corporation, LLC or what have you, right? What are you doing? What is incorporation? It's the legal process that establishes a separate, brand new entity. And now because it is separate, it is its own entity through the act of incorporation, it can now qualify to have a legal name, right? When you incorporate, you form a corporation in a state, it has to have a legal name. Huh? So who gets legal names? A legal entity. Well, a legal or commercial entity. All right. So they want you to prove that you're the same as a legal name. So watch this. Then they tell you how you can do it. How do you provide evidence? How do you indict yourself as being the same as the legal entity, the legal name? How do you do it? It says right here, using a driver's license, a U.S. driver's license. Whose property is it? Remember, they always put the adjective before the noun to describe. So it's a type of driver's license. It's, in this case, a U.S. driver's license. That's who it belongs to. You talk about the mark of the beast's mark, telling you who it belongs to is basically what it's saying. What kind of mark? The beast's mark. Who does it belong to? It belongs to the beast. What's the beast? The beast is the system. That's what it is. The serpent in Genesis, you thought it was a snake? Come on. Come on. A U.S. state-issued non-driver identity card. That is simply a state ID. You have one of those? Okay. The reason why you have it, the reason why you are affixing your image, your likeness and image onto that card, the reason why you are giving your biographical information, your height, weight, eye color, and all that on that card, the reason why you lastly sign it, you put your sign nature or your sin nature on it, right? Your sin nature. Why? Why is that? Because of the fact that you have transgressed as a human into the unnatural. You have transitioned. You have gone into the underworld, as it were. Huh? You have, the living has commingled with the dead. That is a blight. That is a breach of natural law. That is a moral wrongdoing. It is a sin, a trespass, a transgression. And the wages of sin is debt, D-E-B-T, as in an obligation that is owed, because you breach the moral law. All right. So listen, a U.S. passport, thirdly, is the way that you prove that you are the same as the legal entity, legal name. Why? Because, again, you are fixing your likeness and image on the passport. You are also, your biographical information is there, and then you are swearing. Your word is your bond, your oath. Your word is your bond. A bond is how you keep a slave in line, in order, okay? Back in the slavery days, they were bound, okay? There was stocks and there was bonds, just like on the stock market and on the bond market. You are selling yourself. That's all that's happening. You're being traded on the market, etc., etc. All right, stocks and bonds is you the feet and the neck and the hands. Excuse me, the feet, the hands, the neck of the slave were in stocks and bonds. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? And so that's all you're doing when you're identifying here. You're using these instrumentalities of the United States. That's all that's happening. Take it for what it's worth. All right. All right. Let's move on because we got many more questions, and I know I'm way behind. But Yashar Allah, hopefully that clears some things up. I mean, obviously we can have one-on-one consultations. I'll still do those. I mean, if you hit that knowledgewell4u@gmail.com email, I'll still do consultations. All right. All right. So let's move forward. Joseph Henson, Courtney, you are definitely a workman who is worthy of his hire. Exodus 20:15, Leviticus 19:13, Matthew 10:10, Luke 10:7-11, Timothy 2:6, taken from pages 12 and 12, okay, of Commercial Law, applied by David Robertson. Awesome. Thank you for that compliment. I received that and accept that. All right. I do put in a lot of work, a lot of research over the I was just watching one of the videos I did from back in 2014-15. Yeah, I put in a lot of research, a lot. Probably, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. Thank you for that, though. Albert Taylor says, I got 5 on it. All right. Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes, please donate. Please donate. Albert Taylor said, who got me? All right. All right. So SN, the cosmos will reunite these bonds. Some of us are making from our most sincere platforms. Yes. All right. Albert Taylor, causes and conditions, Buddhism. All right. Empress Vicky is in the house. I just signed up for your newsletter. Okay, excellent. Make sure you also go on over to the Patreon. Okay, I will look for those signing up for the newsletters and what have you. We will be starting to do things like that, probably digital print or whatever. Updates and whatever, little, bullet points, hard hitting finds that we have. I'm still going to be doing my reading. I'm still going to be doing my research. The victories and things like that we'll be having in the courts, reports of progress on passports and all that kind of stuff. We will be keeping you abreast of that if you sign up for the newsletter, as well as being over at the Patreon. You do not want to miss what's going on here. I assure you of that. All right. Take it lightly if you want to. I was going to put up, okay, but don't forget to get on over to the Patreon. Today is our last and final show. The rest of this, this journey will be only shared with my exclusive members over at the Patreon. All right. So I want to see you all over there, but I know some of you, it's just not for you to be. And Godspeed to you off into your future. I hope you do the right thing. And I hope you have built your own ark. All right. Because believe it or not, it's going to rain and it's going to get darker than you've ever seen before. So let me just say this. If you do not have a community, you better get yourself one. If you think you're going to survive in this transitional period alone, if you think it's just you, yourself, and your island, and you're going to be great by yourself, I promise you, you will not. I promise you. I don't care what it looks like right now. I don't care if it looks like you're stable and all that. You're not going to make it through this transition doing this by yourself. Now, don't believe me if you don't want to. That's up to you. All right, moving forward. Get on over to form a community. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what, as I stated before, you got to get out from underneath those that know you the most, because they will not understand your skilo. They won't get it. Okay. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm letting you know. Patreon is the way that you can keep abreast and as well as getting that newsletter. Okay. Going back to the comment section. Let's see. This is the time to get your questions in. All right. This is our final show. Make sure that you get the questions in. Okay. Take a bow. Bat or bot? Take a bow. I got to go get my glasses. Share this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, because this all is coming down. Okay. I'm taking it down. I'm taking it all down. YouTube will be, yes, it's all coming down. I'm just saying. So take your notes. Can you touch on steps for status correction? Sure, Heather. No problem. I can do that. I can do that. You want it? Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Status correction. All right. Because this is very misunderstood. Okay. And I contend that a lot of the processes and things that are being done out of sequence improperly. That's why you're not hearing about real remedies. I don't care who it is. You're not hearing about real remedy. You're basically just hearing the sounds of mob mentality, where if they have 10,000, 20,000 views, it gives the presumption that they got something that's actually working. I'll challenge it. Show me anybody that has that has repeatable, provable remedy. Show me anyone. I'll wait. We'll be on here for a little bit. Bring them over here. Anybody making a claim? Okay. Anybody making a claim? Bring them over here. Let's piss some people off real quick. Anyhow, yes. So status correction. Let's see. How can I do this? Let's go to whiteboard. I apologize. My whiteboard's been used, obviously. All right. I'll leave the question up. Let's do this. All right. You are seeing my secret notes. No, you're not supposed to see this. I'm joking, but I'm not. All right, let's cover status correction. Let's set the record straight in our finale show. What is status? You know what? When someone's saying that they can help you fix your status, right? Make sure am I right? Yeah, everybody sees, everybody hears. Okay, testing 1, 2. Is this working? It doesn't look like it. Hold on. Can you all hear me? Somebody give me a 777 real quick. Let me know you can hear me. Somebody give me a 777 real quick. Okay, very good. Thank you, Heather, for that. All right, let's answer Heather's question. If somebody claims to have remedy as far as status correction, first of all, do this. Ask them what the definition of status is. If they can't answer that question, then you should probably walk away. I'm just saying. If they can't answer that question, because how are you going to teach me how to correct my status when you can't even define what status really is? And they shouldn't have to go to a dictionary for that at that particular point, because they're already trying to sell you a product called status correction. So if they got to look, well, here, wait a minute, I'll look up and see what status correct. If they got to do that, walk away. Let's start employing actual rational analysis. Let's start holding people accountable, right? If you're going to spend your hard-earned money, you get what I'm saying? There's signs. Remember, Mama used to say, you know, you knew he wasn't no good when you dated him in the first place. All the signs were there. You just ignored the signs for the sake of love and how you feel about it, didn't you? Right? And then next thing you know, you got 2 children and he ain't there no more. I don't know who I'm talking to. All the signs were there. You just disobeyed the signs. Okay? Who am I talking to? You see the signs. Don't be, girl, do you think he good for me? And you see all the signs. Okay, all right, whatever. I don't know, who am I talking to? All right, so again, if he calls himself if he or she calls themselves a guru and they're going to help you with status correction but can't define it, there's a problem. Walk away. Now, I said it 3 times. Status, by definition, is the state of being. You shouldn't have to look that up. Not if you're supposedly giving me a remedy. Status is the state of being or condition. Of being or whatever, right? That's what status is. Okay. Obviously, correcting something, right? Correcting something is to change it for the better, right? You found an error in it and now you're, changing it for the better. So you don't like the state you're in. Now, I'm in the state of Wisconsin. What state are you in? Do you like the state that you are in? Now, why is status, state, and all that? Why am I relating that to the actual state that you live in? Well, because it's an artificial existence. It's a jural society. It's not real. It's an ideology of man. The governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. The states were created by the people as an idea, right? We had the idea of community, of camaraderie, of a social community where we all live in harmony. Those are ideas that we came up with, okay? And so with that being said, when you're talking about the state of being, you're talking, look, watch. These are a community of legal entities, aka citizens, right? Right? What does the term entity mean? A being in existence. You ain't heard this before. Legal entity is a being. An entity is a being in existence. So state of beings. Wisconsin is a Wisconsin state of beings. That's why. That's status. Your state of being. Wisconsin is the state I be in right now. That's what I'm saying. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's a state of beings. That's the status. Okay. Now, what you're trying to do is correct it, right? Because you're saying that it is wrong. Okay. The type of entity, you're saying it's wrong. And so you want to correct it. And so how are you? So let's look at that. As it stands right now, I just showed you the SS5 form. Okay. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, please. 777. Yeah, sure. Okay. Very good. Thank you for all the 777s. Okay. Now, listen. You just saw the SS5 form. You just witnessed it for yourself. Therefore, you have firsthand knowledge, right? You could write an affidavit as far as what the actual truth is, right? You could establish what's known as a prima facie case, right? Prima facie, it's the way it is on its face until rebutted, right? Until proven wrong. SS5 form said what? They want you, meaning the human individual filling out the application. They want you to prove that you are the same or equal to the legal name, and we establish who gets a legal name, the entity. That is the being. Okay? So they want you to equal that. Both sides of the equation, they want to be equal, the same. Okay? Now, you don't particularly like that because you say, nah, wait a minute, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that because I'm a human being. But what I've been doing all my life, ignorantly, right? Ignorance of the laws of no excuse, is doing exactly that. I've been saying that I'm this legal entity. I am this being, okay? I am a citizen of the state, therefore a state or a being in the state. And now you've awoken, you're woke, and you're saying, I don't like that. That's not correct. Because why? What are the connotations of being a being of the state? Okay? You are a debtor. Make no mistake about it. In that particular status, state of being, state of condition, you are a debtor because a citizen owes duty. You are an obligor by definition. If you look at the Black's Law Dictionary, y'all gonna make me pull out all the weapons today, huh? Huh? Okay. Okay. I don't know where it's at. Where are you, Black's Law? There you are. Let's see if I can reach it. Hold on. Stay with me. Again, if you could see what goes into producing a show, it's not easy. I guarantee you that. You tell me if this definition encompasses everything that I'm showing you here. Why status correction? Heather Bell says. Why? Why is that important? Because you're saying something is rotten in Denmark. I don't like what is happening because I've learned that to be a citizen subjects me to obligations and duties. Okay? Listen, citizen, one who under the Constitution, under, meaning below, meaning subject by definition, under, and laws of the United States. The Constitution and laws of the United States are not the same. You know that, right? The laws of the United States are the federal laws, federal law. The Constitution is, okay. Or of a particular state is a member, something you join, you are in allegiance with. Okay? Any club that you join, you're saying, I agree to the terms and conditions. I agree to do exactly what it is that the owner of the club says that I am to do. That is my obligation and my duty as a citizen. Anything that you join as a membership, you are essentially becoming a citizen thereof. So then, okay, let me not go ahead of myself. Okay. All right. All right. Owing allegiance. See, owing. Owing is a term suggesting a debtor. That's what a legal entity is created for. What is the purpose of a legal entity? To rack up debts. Because the wages of sin is debt. The wages. What is a wage? Something you earn, right? Something that is owed to you or promised to you in exchange for something that you do. The wages, what you earned for your participation, the wages of sin. What is sin? Breach of moral law, meaning something that is natural, or doing that which is against the natural order, natural law. That is a sin. So you as a human going over here and identifying as a legal entity is a sin by definition, because you are natural. You are under the natural law. Therefore, you're not supposed to be claiming to be artificial. That by definition is a sin. And the wages, what you earn because you did not stay in the natural realm where you belong, the wages of sin, what you earn is debt. Debt, D-E-B-T, a duty, an obligation. Now, you are made subject as a citizen, a member. You are made subject to what are known as stocks and bonds, meaning you will now be bound by your hands and by your feet, and they will put a yoke around your neck like an ox, and you will pull for the master. You will till the ground. You will pick the cotton. You will do the things that a slave, a subject, an obligor have to do. Your status has changed. You are no longer natural, what you used to be. But due to contracts, you were changed. The status was changed. Okay? And so that's the case that I use for that is H.A. Friend v. Professional Stationery. Let me demonstrate. Is this good? Give me a 777. Make sure that you are donating. Can we go out donating? Because we haven't been doing that good otherwise, right? We haven't been doing that good. Right? Support. Hook your boy up. Whatever. I couldn't be hood if I tried. Those days are long gone. Give me a 777 if this is good. Light it up. Let me see what you got. So let's look at that. H.A. Friend. You know, I like to prove what I say. Hopefully that is the type of review you will say, or things you will say about KnowledgeWell Media, is that one thing he did, he always proved what he said. It was not conjecture. He didn't just make stuff up out of thin air. All right. So let's do this. Let me show you something. H.A. Friend. I mean, this is really all you need to know. Status correction. We're still on that question. We're touching up on steps for status correction. Give me one moment. So let's look at H.A. Friend. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom. H.A. Friend v. Professional Stationery. Right here. So it says predicating duty upon contract. Okay. Ordinarily, a breach of contract is not a tort, but a contract may, listen, what does a contract do? May create the state of things. Remember, I told you, status is what? By definition, state of things or condition. Huh? Come on now. I only got 1777. I ain't digging that. Where are all the 777s? Let's go. Light it up. So listen, a contract may create. What does a contract do? Create the state of things. What is the state of things? Status. So the contract creates your status. That's what it does. Now, here, right here, look, the contract is mere inducement. So what does a contract do? How does it create the status? What does it do? It lures you. It says it merely induces you. Inducement is to lure. So a contract lures you to create a new status or to change your status. That's what a contract does. And then because of that change, because the contract has now changed your condition or the state or status, now it furnishes an occasion for the tort. Okay? Now you can be accused. Now you can be obligated to something. Now you can be a debtor. Whereas before you couldn't, because you had a different status. Huh? Now, let me just clarify here, lest ye be confused or fused together. That's what confused means, to fuse together. Let's fix this. I want to make sure you walk away from here with the truth, which makes you free. All right. So listen, now that you've seen H.A. Friend v. Professional Stationery, that explains exactly how your status is changed. It's through luring you into a contract. That's why Genesis talks about the serpent being the most subtle and cunning beast of the field. And lo and behold, some of us thought that the beast was actually a literal snake. No, it is saying a serpent because it is talking about the characteristics of a particular beast. And a beast is merely the denotation of a system. So it's not a literal serpent or snake per se. No, it is literally talking about a particular system that is so cunning, so subtle, so wise, so slick, that they can lure you in through contract and thereby can change your status, state of condition. Now, what is the purpose? Why would a system set out to change your status through luring you, into a contract? Why? Why? Because it says that it furnishes, makes able, or makes the occasion for a tort, a debt, an obligation. Because when it all comes down to it, the business, the club needs members. Because a club without members is null and void. The state without citizens is null and void. And so there is a system, a particular beast system that uses contracts to lure you in, to induce you in, so that your status can change, so that they can make obligors, debtors, slaves, subjects in the club. If I had a mic, I would drop it, but that's not appropriate right now. That's what's going on, y'all. I mean, I can close the book. We can end the show. I gave you enough. Heather Bell, steps for status correction. Status correction is merely basically rebutting, refuting, as it were, the prima facie case that is established by the terms of the contract, okay? Basically exposing unconscionability of a contract, meaning there are terms and conditions that were brought forth in the contract that basically couldn't be met. I can't do this. How can I do what you're expecting a legal entity to do? I'm a human freaking being. That's unconscionable for you to think that a human can be a slave. That would be in violation of the 13th Amendment, which abolished human slavery. Are you picking up what I just put down? Yeah, that's that federal lawsuit you've been talking about. It's the year of application, baby. Are you ready? Can't subject a human to slavery. So it's any contract that is doing that is in breach of trust and in violation of the 13th Amendment. So anybody that is subjecting you thereto through their thrift or crafty and subtle contracts, sue their ass in federal court, mind you. You can't sue. The citizen cannot sue the state because what? The state created the citizen. Oh, yeah. The state created the citizen. Therefore, the citizen cannot sue the state. Huh? But a human can get in the right capacity. Now, you want me to give you the steps to status correction, and that's kind of proprietary, right? I mean, that's kind of what I do. So we can definitely do a consultation. All right. We do have a process. It's called the hire process. All right. HIRE, hire process. You want information on that? Look in the description of this and other videos. That's all I can say about that. But I just divulged to you what status correction is all about, you know, but we have a proprietary way of dealing with that. All right. So get with us for a consultation. We can take care of that. I got to catch up on these comments. I hope that helps, though. It should. You know, when you know better, they say you do better. All right. Oh my goodness. I got to catch up. My bad. All right. Let me catch up. I got to go way back up here. Thank you for all the comments and all the participation. Make sure that you're hitting that thumbs up. Make sure that you are donating to our Cash App, which is $AmericanConsulate. Okay. Let me get caught up here. Wow. Okay. All right. I see you guys are at it. Okay. Here we go. AMD says everyone's problems are a result of a lack of comprehension about the law of agency. Absolutely. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. AMD says, what status are you assuming you've been placed under? Okay. Prove you are a citizen. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Okay. Agreed. We can move on. All right. Very good. Daphne Quinn says that would be me because it takes repetition and other tools for me to comprehend knowledge like this. AMD Infinity. Okay. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way you learn. So what do they say? Grow where you're planted. Don't worry about that. That's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing at all. I bet you're a lot like me, Daphne Quinn, because while it may take time for me to get it, once I get it, forget about it. You see what I'm saying? It's just the way that you absorb in order for it to bind with you. That's all it is. Everybody has different levels of absorption of information and knowledge. It does not make you weaker than anyone else. It's just there's different types of sponges. Yeah, one sponge absorbs this way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're all just different, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But when you get it, I bet you you don't lose it. Empress Vicky says, I'm going to need a consultation. You know how to do it? KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. Hit us up at KnowledgeWell. I should have more requests for consultations than ever before. I should have more donations than ever before. This being our final show. I mean, we should go out with a bang. And I should have more subscriptions to the Patreon. Let me put it up for you one more time, because that's the only way you will have access to this information, this style of teaching, all right, from this point forward. This is our last show, all right? Patreon, go sign up. I mean, you have options. $15 a month, I don't think it's going to break anybody, but that's a great way to show support that maybe you haven't had the chance to do before. But it's a great way. It's $15 a month. That's $30 a month. Whatever you feel is the value for you. Everybody, value is the amount you're willing to pay for something, all right? So you're only going to pay X amount based upon how it affects you individually and how it helps you, hopefully, right? All right, so if you find value, then it would behoove you. All right, that's the way it works. So patreon.com is where we will be. We will no longer be here anymore, okay? Now, you may see me around or hear about me on YouTube, but it will not be with this content, all right? Because we do have something else we're about to drop, but later for that, and hopefully you'll be able to catch up. Otherwise, knowledgewell4you@gmail.com is our email. I'll put it up for you one more time. Wait a minute. All right, where is it at? KnowledgeWell, there it is. Okay, that's the email. All right, you won't see us here. All right, so you'll have to go over to the email or join us at the Patreon. Okay, after today, this is the final show. All right, let's get back. I got to catch up. Comments, where are we at? All right. Empress Vic, okay, where can I sign up for newsletter? Okay, so if you go to our Square site, here, I'll put up, if you go to the Square site right here, all right, knowledgewell-media.square site. If you go there, you can sign up at the bottom of the page. You'll find the newsletter, okay, where you just put in your email, and basically it'll come to us, and then we'll know that you want the newsletter. And that's all there is to it. If you pay attention also to the commercials, when I go on break, it tells you more about it, okay? So anyway, let me kill some more of these comments. Then I'm going to take a quick break and go get my glasses so I can quit squinting. All right, where am I at? Banner. Let's take this down. Some more comments here. I wish they would do better about putting you back where you were when you click off of the comment section. This is terrible. I got to go scroll all the way back up. Oh, somebody reminded me of Blackstone. Thanks. Yeah, we're gonna okay, we're gonna cover that. All right. Empress Vicky says on the KnowledgeWell website. Yep. Okay. Go to the bottom of the site. Okay. Empress is giving you instructions. Okay, and thank you. All right. That's what I love that. We need to build community. We should all be having each other's back. Haven't we learned by now? Haven't we learned? Haven't we learned? Division is the way that we all fall down, to put it that way. That's the way we all fall down. Sooner or later, we're gonna have to figure out that the game was, pitting you against each other. That's all it was. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. So when you start shutting off the news and you start to do more of this grassroots here on YouTube, we're communicating, we're dealing with each other, we're building each other up, we're helping each other out. You'll notice that we think differently than the most, right? Because they're not building community by watching the news. The news is pushing the narrative. And so if they want you to believe that blacks are having problems with whites, okay, guess what? They're going to push that narrative consistently. These news anchors that are on there, they're just working for a check. They didn't write the content. Who do you think is writing the content? They just come to work and look at it, read it, rehearse it, and then present it. That's all. It's not the news anchor. It's the content provider, the ones that are pushing the narrative, the owners of the station, the syndicate, all that, you know what I mean? So this is why we are who we are, is because we're spending our time on YouTube in a community setting. That's what sets us apart. It makes us different. It makes us see the world different. Okay? Daphne Quinn. Okay, thanks for the reminder of Blackstone. Keep doing that, please. I'm going to cover that here shortly. AMD Infinity, you are agent for the all caps trust entity, study law of agency. Yeah, Okay, but here's the problem, AMD. We can be a lot more specific than just saying you are the agent. You are correct. It is the law. Study the law of agency. You are correct. But do you know what specific capacity or title that you carry in the role of an agent? You see what I'm saying? We can be more specific. Custodian. You're a custodian. All right, wait. Excuse me. Empress Vicky says, where do I find the law of agency information at AMD? Okay, AMD will help you out with that, I'm assuming. Everyone look at the back of your Social Security card. Whose property is it? Okay. AMD said, Google it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So AMD and Empress are having that conversation. Okay. Big John is in the house. All right. Big John says, man, I'm sorry you didn't get the crowd you were looking for. God works in mysterious ways, though. Awesome. It's more about the appreciation of the information, the application thereof. That's more what it is, Big John. The numbers, it's nice. I mean, it makes my heart go pitter, patter, pitter, patter. You know, it's an emotional engagement. But it was never about the numbers as much as it is the influence, okay? I need community. We need community. I don't care if that's 20 people. That's what we need, okay? We're not going to change the whole world. We were never meant to. You should have a clan, a tribe, a community. And that community acting in sync as one unit will start to impact others. But it's not for me individually as one to be set up as a man god to absorb all the power of the universe upon myself, right? Become He-Man, as it were. No, because then if a particular evil group want to take me out, then the whole community is done, right? Because I have absorbed all the power and authority in myself. I have all of your allegiance pledged to me, right? No, that's a very patriarchal way of doing things. It's a system that has proven time and time again not to work. Every king has been toppled. Every government has fallen. Every empire has fallen that have been ruled by a dictatorship or a monarch. It's not the way, it's not the natural way. It's not according to the natural order. It's community. It's all of us, right? That's all. So it's never been about the numbers for me. It feels good. It appeals to my emotional human condition, but that doesn't make it what it is. You see what I'm saying? No, what makes it what it is when I have a community and we have a community that backs each other and we go forward together, tearing down all corruption and all that kind of stuff together in sync and unity, and not just to damage things, not just out of anger, emotional engagement, but because we legitimately want to restore the proper order. Okay, that's what it's really supposed to be about. Would you rather have all the money in the world or have a world as a community? I mean, that wasn't real sexy, but you get what I'm saying. Do you want all the money in the world, or would you forego all the money in the world and all the riches upon yourself to have a cohesive community? Do you feel what I'm saying? I would rather be poor and have a whole community of people that love each other, that care about each other, that care for my children when they're out playing, to make sure that everybody is keeping my children safe, than to have all the money in the world, right? Because you can have all the money in the world and then your child is out innocently playing in the public and gets hurt, you know, or abducted or whatever, and nobody cares about your child or looks out for them or protects them. So what is all the money in the world going to do for you at that particular point in time? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So I care less, for the record. All of those that are chasing clicks and all that kind of stuff, have at it. You have your heaven now. Mine in the future is an establishing community. That's And it has nothing to do with fiat currency. Okay? That's what I want. That's what I'm after. All right, that's my heaven. Okay? The driver's license is for the operator of the trust. Okay? All right. Looking for questions. For the trust vehicle as he, she operates for the trust business. Okay? I didn't consent to that. All right, y'all having a conversation. Big John says, under what statutes, HRJ bills, can I find all debt is already paid, my dude? Okay, could you please point me where I can find them? Thank you for all the hard work you do. All right, no problem. Now, I haven't particularly taught about that. I have heard it, the HJR 192 and all that kind of thing. It has not gotten any traction. Therefore, it's misconstrued. Okay. I don't even know if I want to. I don't really deal too much with the discharging of debts and all that kind of stuff because I contend that people are doing things out of sync. Okay. You're not a creditor until your status is corrected. And status correction has become a cliche. It's an abused idea, and it's not gaining respect. It's losing respect as the days and months and weeks and years go by because people are doing things incorrectly. You're putting the cart before the horse. The number one thing you should be focused on is repairing the breach against the natural law, the natural order, against the moral law. That's the very first thing. Until the people repair that breach, stop sinning. Sin, what is a sin? A moral trespass, a moral wrongdoing against the natural order. Why is it that corruption is seeping into your domain as the people? Because you are allowing it, because you are being perceived as a ward, an incompetent, a government handout taker, right? You always got your hand out because what you really aspire to obtain is what Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and all of the superstars having hot boy and hot girl summers are doing. They have you severely entertained. Your mind is captivated by Hollywood. You want to live that life. And so you're chasing that, no holds barred. That's all you dream. I want to be like Mike in the 90s. They pushed that at you and made you start singing that song. And that's all you ever wanted to be, was like Michael. And so now we got what we got. Now you've waived the natural way of doing things. You've waived the natural order and you've taken on all of these legalities, contracts. What is the majority of the complaint about from disenfranchised artists? That for the contract, I had to do these diabolical things for the contract. Oh, you're crying about it now. But all you wanted to be was Tupac. And so you didn't know what it took to become Tupac, did you? Huh? See, you're not seeing that. You're not seeing the hours and hours of repeating the same lines and hooks, sweating probably, barely eating perhaps, sacrificing everything. You're not out there playing, getting healthy, whatever, with your friends and having camaraderie and building community with your friends. No, because in order to be the superstar you say you want to be, you're going to sign this 5 to 10 year contract that makes you me or mine, my property. Now you work as a subject, an obligor to the record exec and your agent. And they're running your life, telling you what you can eat, where you can go. You see? You don't see that side of things. You just saw all of the prestige. You see the rented limousines and they're flashing $1,000 bill or $1,000 in their hand out in the public like this and making it rain. That's what you see. You see exactly what the camera is showing you, but you don't get the backstory. So you now are in this, I could do that too. No, you can't. Not everybody can. Not everybody's cut out for that. And when they find out what it's really about, pay attention to TikTok and YouTube now. Pay attention to what they're saying. Okay? So, I don't know how I got on that. But anyways, it's I've never gotten into that. So got into the financial side of those things, because the most important thing is we get back to the natural order. All right? When you get back to the natural order, you'll start taking care of community. You'll start taking care of home, and you'll stop looking outside trying to be like everybody else. I guess that was the point I was trying to make. Okay? That's what it is. So, no, I'm going to tell you, Big John and others, okay, focus on the natural order, getting back to the natural order. If you don't need the government subsidies, don't take the government subsidies. If you're able-bodied and you can do it for yourself, then do it for yourself. Have pride, again, in yourself and in your village. Be a contributing member to your village. Build that. Build that. There is no get-rich-quick schemes that actually last. There are none. The lottery, maybe, but how much are you going to have to pay in order to win a little? Other than that, it's hard work. You are on the plantation here in the United States. That's what the whole American dream was, portrayed to be. Come here, work hard, today, sacrifice the partying, get an education, get all the letters behind your name, graduate each step of society, do honorable things, have a great rapport and reputation. And then you combine and know how to and learn how to leverage all of that you've worked hard for 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 years. Now you turn around and leverage the letters behind your name. You sell yourself as a product before the community. And they either elect you to an office or what have you, because based upon your perseverance, your hard work, your ethic, they believe in you. You made them believe in you. That's the plantation you live on. There is no get-rich-quick scheme. You don't have a right to any Treasury direct accounts. You don't, because this all is within the JURIS sphere, which is a fictional ideology. It's all fiction anyways. It's all monopoly money anyways. It's all fiat currency. Why would you give your last of the natural realm to have it? Restore yourself, your village, your area, your children. Educate them properly the correct way. That's what we should be focusing on. There is no get-rich-quick scheme, and there is no freaking immunity from the United States government. There is none. There is no immunity. There is none. You came here, that's what it is. You came here to this grand experiment. That's all there is to it. There is nothing else, okay? Unless you leave. That's all. Now, if you're here, just learn how to play the game. How good are you at this game? That's the question. How good are you? Get real good at it. Just like any game, chess, checkers, just get real good at it. And you'll enjoy it more. You can have heaven on earth. Yes, you can. Yes, we can. Yes, thank you. All right. Going forward. You are so right about us needing to have an umbrella. You're talking to me. All right, Daphne Quinn. Heather Bell says gratitude. Let me try and catch up. I have a couple of awesome mentors like yourself, but different aspects of our struggle. Real Nagas, okay, African diaspora, okay, to name a few. Awesome. 777-777s. Thank you for all of those. Yashar Allah says Yusuf L. I'm interested to know what you have to say about Yusuf L. Yashar Allah. Fearless Floyd show. Pastor of the Way. Watch these guys. Yep, I know some of that. But again, nah, I'll save that. 777, thank you. AMD Infinity says, prove you are or were a citizen of the U.S. Well, it's on how you identify. That's what we were talking about in the beginning. How do you identify? What have you done to provide evidence that you are the U.S. citizen? Remember, if you have a driver's license, a passport, a state ID, all of those are evidences of identity in the legal name, the legal entity. The legal entity was birthed through an act of incorporation into the United States. So therefore, U.S. citizen. All right. So that's what shows the proof. AMD, prove you were or are a U.S. citizen. Where is your evidence? Cite your authority. The SS5 form is one. The passport is another. The DS11 form. Black's Law Dictionary, best edition to purchase. All right. So 5th edition is the one that I've been particular to and use. It has not let me down. Can I get a 4th Black's for free? Google it with PDF, or you can. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of it's the world of information now. That's what it is. Nothing is off limits. All right. So AMD Infinity Gratitude. Okay. Yo, Courtney, will you right now prove you are or were a citizen if you cannot produce evidence? That's an interesting way to pose it. I don't know why I would want to, but I'll play. I mean, how many times do I have to show the SS5 form? I'll show it once again. Let's see here. This is how they get you to do it. So, prove you are or were a citizen. So if you did any of this, you must provide current unexpired evidence of identity in your legal name. This is the application for a Social Security card. So if you provide any of these things, which is what they ask you for whenever you're doing any business in public, they ask you for these identifications. For what purpose? To prove that you are the same as the legal name. Who do you get the legal name from, and who is the legal entity, or what is the legal entity and who created it? The United States, right? So if you identify as the legal entity, you're identifying as a U.S. citizen. Likewise, that's one proof. Likewise, if you look at the DS11 form, what does it say here? This form right here is used to apply. So if you filled out this application for what? A passport, book, or card, okay? This U.S. passport is a travel document, attesting. Okay? It's proving, it's showing, it's evidence of your identity as what? A U.S. citizen or non-citizen U.S. national. Both of these owe permanent allegiance to the United States. I mean, I don't know how you can get away from that. Okay? These are what you're doing. I am applying for my first U.S. passport. Who has the right to do that? A U.S. citizen or national. Okay? So yeah, if they were going to prove that you are in fact a U.S. citizen, if you have not properly corrected your status, they're going to pull up a passport application to show, in fact, that, hey, you did this under perjury. They're going to pull up your SS5 form, right? Under perjury, under threat of perjury. You filled this out. You applied. Therefore, you admitted, attested to, provided evidence of the fact that you're a U.S. citizen or a national. All right, moving on. I don't know how better to put it. Dan Zig. All right. This is a perfect example of saving the best for last. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I got to go get my glasses. Let's take a break. I'm going to go get my glasses so I can stop squinting, and we'll be right back.
Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for the Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it?
All right, and we are back. We are back. I really appreciate you all for being here. And we're moving forward with the comment sections. I can now see. Ah, that's what you look like. Okay, very good, very good. All right, this is the last and final show. So sad to go, but you know what? I am not done. I'm still in accordance with my commission, what I've been called to do. It feels great to know that I am doing what I'm called to do. And I really would appreciate it if you all would not follow, but join me over at the Patreon. That's where we will be from now on. We will be pulling down all of the content from this YouTube channel and shutting it down. All right. So if you want to come and join us, if you want to keep going on our journey here, this is the year of application. You can join us over at the Patreon right there, patreon.com/knowledgewell4u. All right. Otherwise, you look for us. We will not be here. We're gone like the rapture. But I do appreciate all of those who were consistent, who stayed with us, who supported here at the YouTube channel. I will be starting another channel. It will not be covering any of this content. So don't come over there thinking that you know me from here. Don't do it, because it's not going to happen. But those that will, join us at the Patreon. That's where you'll find us. That is by subscription only. Okay. And it's very affordable. $15 a month is our lowest tier. That's not that much money. $15 a month. All right. For this type of content. All right. That's what we're offering. All right. So let's get back to the comment section. I got to get caught up here. Big John, it could be broken like I've done for myself. Okay, I lost the context on that. You can explain. Unfortunately, I am unorganized. Excuse me. I need you to put up links. Links. Okay, what specific link are you looking for? I'll go over them again. Heather Bell says, yep, it's chess, not checkers. Correct. The Fearless Floyd show. All right. Basilikos nomos. Basilikos nomos. Find both on YouTube and Telegram. Okay. Freedom of Information Act requests from the Immigration and Naturalization. That's how you prove citizenship. Anything else is an assumption. Okay. All right. BB Productions. All right. So yeah, join us over at the Patreon. There's the link. That's where we'll be. All right. If you feel so inclined, use the call-in line if you want to get on here and express or share. All right. And Patreon subscriptions gets you instant access to the content on there. Okay. Yeah, there are lots of videos that we put up there that we did not put here. Okay. Just so you know. Now, any other questions? Any other questions? I mean, we went over quite a bit. We packed it all in and we've been on for almost 2 hours. But this is our final show. I wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to voice or ask their questions. Now, who was supposed to remind me? I was supposed to talk about something. What was it? Somebody remind me. What was I supposed to talk about? I said, remind me and I'll talk about it. It is, let me see if I can find it. This is our final show. We will be over at the Patreon, so join up. Let me see, what was it we were supposed to talk about? Where was it? Somebody had just reminded me of it. Where is it? Where is it? One moment. Gratitude. Where was it? What was I supposed to talk about, y'all? Somebody was supposed to remind me. Let me see. Where is it at? Blackstone. Ah, very good. All right, so check it out. Watch this. I was on my other computer, so I might have to look for it here. I was talking about corporations. All right, here, one moment. Legal personhood, is this it? No. Let's see. Bear with me. I was reading this over. I couldn't believe it. Where are you? Come on now. See, I was on my laptop. Conversion to incorporate Blackstone completes conversion. I might have to get my laptop. Anyways, oh my God, I can't believe this. That makes me upset. Anyways, it's talking about the corporation. It's talking about how the king established the corporations or whatever, gave grants concerning the corporation and how it's a legal person. That really makes me upset. I should have brought my laptop down. Let's see here. Yeah, so Blackstone was an English judge. Okay. Let me see. I might be able to find it here. Just bear with me. Bear with me here. It's well worth it. I hate that. All right, let me. Okay. Here we go. Stop yelling at me. I'll get it. Just wait. I got it. Hold on. I found it. All right, here we go. All right. It's worth it. Watch this. Watch this. Let's see if I can zoom it in and make sure you can see it good. All right. So this is Yale, the Yale Law School. Okay. Now watch this. Blackstone's Commentaries on the Laws of England, book, the first, right? Chapter 18, talking about what? Corporations. You're welcome for this. Watch this. The Rights of Persons, book 1, chapter 18. You ready? Watch this. We have hitherto, now what you're going to notice is, you see this word right here? I don't know why, okay? And I don't claim to know why, but they substituted the S for an F. And they're going to do that even in this word here and all through. I don't know if it's a type of code. I don't know if this was just the way it was written in English or, back then, but it's weird. So it may be to discourage the laity from, being able to comprehend, because comprehension is a big thing that we lack in, right? We can read, you can read and read and read and don't comprehend what you're reading, but check. So anyways, I can decode it though. Let's do it. So we have hitherto considered persons in their natural capacities and have treated of their rights and duties, okay? Persons in their natural capacities. But as all personal rights die with the person, oh my goodness, and as the necessary forms of investing a series of individuals, okay, one after another with the same identical rights, meaning, in other words, what they're saying is my children and my children's children and my children's children's children, okay, that come after, all right, we want them all to have the same rights, freedoms, all that kind of stuff, right? So there's a succession, a line of succession, in it, okay, inheritors or whatever, one after another with the same identical rights would be very inconvenient, if not impractical, okay? It has been found necessary when it is for the advantage of the public to have any particular rights kept on foot and continued to constitute artificial persons. Blackstone just said, we have to create artificial persons, legal entities, jural personalities. Why? So that the rights can be passed on, regardless if a person dies. They don't want the rights that one has to die just because someone in the line or in the succession of your family, just because someone dies, they don't want the rights to die with them. They want them to perpetually continue. So it was necessary to create legal entities, artificial persons. Watch this. Come on, come on. And enjoy a kind of legal immortality. So now, when you're making the claim that the legal entity is separate and distinct from yourself, and they're trying to say you're a cuckoo, tell them there's a great judge in JURIS named Blackstone who beautifully conveyed and explained why it is that corporations were created in the first place. Legal entities were brought into existence in the first place. Artificial persons were brought into existence in the first place. And that is to keep a type of immortality going when it comes to the rights of natural people. Okay, let's keep going. Watch this. I hope I broke that down for you so you understood. These artificial persons are called what? Bodies politic. Remember, I defined under the definition, legal definition of jural, that a state is considered a body politic. These artificial persons are bodies politic, bodies corporate, corpora, corporata, or corporations. Listen, y'all. They said when it comes to the natural capacities and the rights and duties, okay, they considered that when a person dies, okay, that their rights will die with them if they don't have a legal immortality. And so they said it was necessary to create these artificial persons to create that legal immortality. And then it goes on to say that those those artificial persons are corporations. That's how you keep rights flowing even when a natural person dies. This is something separate and distinct. This is something outside of a human being. It's not one and the same. Okay. Of which there is a great variety subsisting. So there's a great variety of corporations, different kinds. For the advancement of religion. So there's corporations that advance religion. Don't get me started. Why are you looking at me like that? You thought I was going to go there. Look, of learning, schools, universities, look, and of commerce. Can you say commercial entity? Can you say legal entity? For commerce, in order to persevere entire and forever, those rights and immunities. Remember the 14th Amendment, privileges and immunities. Corporations, but they want to tell you that, oh, that's not separate from you. What do you mean you're not a legal person? Tell them to go holler at Uncle Blackstone. All right, so which, if they were graded only to those individuals of which the body corporated is composed, would, upon their death, be utterly lost and extinct. In other words, if it was just if the immunities, if this legal entity, this legal immortality, if it was only for those individuals of which the body corporate or corporation is composed, would upon their death, upon the individuals that compose the corporation, upon their death, then they would become extinct, those rights, okay? To shew the advantage of these incorporations, let us consider the case of a college in either of our universities, founded and I'm going to skip it. They're speaking in Latin, so disregard. For the encouragement and support of religion and learning. If this was a mere voluntary assembly, the individuals which compose it might indeed read. They might indeed pray, study, and perform scholastic exercises together, so long as they could agree to do so. Listen, now you're going to understand why Blackstone is saying it's important to form these corporations, okay? Because without it, yeah, people might pray together. They may read together. They might even study together. And they might perform scholastic exercises together. It's a chance that they might, okay, for so long as they could agree to do so. But they could neither frame nor receive any laws or rules of their conduct. Remember, positive law, what is that for? Right? The conduct. What is natural law? All laws are to regulate a particular type of conduct. Natural law governs human conduct, and positive law governs legal entities, artificial entity conduct. Okay, so listen. This is what a corporation establishes, because they all are members of one corporation, and therefore there are laws that will regulate the conduct uniformly. Is that the right word? In unity. Okay. For want, of course, of power to create a sufficient obligation. Neither could they be capable for retaining any privileges or immunities. In other words, without a corporation, without that cohesiveness, without that bond, it says that they would be incapable of retaining the privileges and immunities. Listen, for if such privileges be attacked, which of all this unconnected assembly has the right or ability to, this is a question. For if such privileges be attacked, which of all this unconnected assembly has the right or ability to defend them? So we need that joinder, that connection, that membership, okay? So it establishes who can defend the rights and privileges that they have. And when they are dispersed by death or otherwise, how shall they transfer these advantages to another set of students? Line of succession, okay? All right, peace to you as well, AMD. AMD said you got to go. Okay, awesome. Appreciate you for being here. I'm only going to be on here for a little bit longer. Equally unconnected as themselves. So also, with regard to holding estates of other property, listen, if land be granted for the purposes of religion or learning to 20 individuals not incorporated, okay, there is no legal way of continuing the property to any other persons for the same purposes. Are you picking up what they're putting down? This is why incorporation is necessary. That's what they're saying. Succession. Okay, this is why we have artificial persons. This is why citizens are necessary of a state, that membership, right? So that in case you die, as you know, one of us dies, right? That the state does not cease to exist. Okay, succession. Okay, but by endless conveyances from one to the other as often as the hands are changed. But when they are consolidated and united into a corporation, they and their successors are then considered as one person in law. That's why you cannot claim constitutional rights as a citizen, because you are not looked at in the eyes of the law as an individual any longer. You gave up your individuality and became one of a whole. Remember, I taught on that. This is what legal personhood is all about. Okay. All right. Looking at the count. Okay. As one person, they have one will, which is collected from the sense of the majority of the individuals. Listen, are you hearing that? These members that are incorporated, okay, it says they have one will. You lose your individuality. It's no longer about you, which is collected from the sense of the majority of the individuals, meaning how they vote, what the moral, the social norm is of all people in common, the general consensus of the whole. Listen, this one will may establish rules and orders for the regulation of the whole, which are a sort of municipal laws of this little republic. Huh? Or rules and statutes may be prescribed to it at its creation. Talking about the state, the political community, right? Which are then in the place of natural laws. Did you just hear that? How long have I been teaching on that? What is positive law? What's the difference between positive law and natural law? One governs human conduct. The other one has to do with these artificial persons, legal entities. They are not one and the same. They're in completely different spheres. But when you join, or when the citizen joins or incorporates into the state, they leave behind the natural laws. You see this? They leave behind the natural laws, and now they agree to be bound under these rules and statutes and regulations under this new jural sphere, under the laws of the state. That's what's going on. You leave, it says, in place of natural laws. The privileges and immunities, the estates and possessions of the corporation, when once vested in them, will be forever vested. Listen, the privileges and immunities, the estates and possessions of the corporation, when once vested in them will be forever vested without any new conveyance to new succession. You say the state owns everything. Now you're seeing, as per Blackstone, exactly how that works. This is what happens in a corporation. When you form a corporation, when you join a corporation, everybody's stuff is in common. You step away from your natural rights of estates. What does it say? Of possessions. Huh? You see this? You step away from certain privileges and immunities per se, because now the statutes, the positive law, is in place of natural law. Watch who you join yourself with. Watch who you contract with, as it were. But that's not it. A little bit more. I got to hit this sweet spot here to kill it all and wrap it up. Watch this. For all the individual members that have exited from the foundation to, I'm not sure what this is, to he, to she, to see present time, or that shall ever hereafter exist, are but one person in law. Let me reiterate, let me restate that, let me repeat that. For all the individual members that have existed from the foundation to the present time, or that shall ever hereafter exist, are but one person in law. A person that never dies. Can you say eternal life? So when you get hung up on Christianity, the religion, and they're talking about you can have eternal life, right? In heaven. Heaven is here on earth. This is where it's at. And you can have eternal life, as Blackstone is conveying, but it's through taking on a legal person. It's through acts of incorporation. It's not through leaving this earth per se and ascending into the clouds. They set up this kingdom here on this planet, on this earth. And by taking on, again, by incorporating into fictional societies, political communities, you leave the natural realm, aka you die in the natural, and you wake up in the spiritual or the supernatural, and now you ascertain or have obtained what is known as eternal life. You never die. That is what a corporation is. Listen, in like manner as the river Thames is still the fame river, though the parts which compose it are changing every instant. In other words, it may change, right? But it's still just a part of the whole. One little branch of the river may form, its own way, but nonetheless, it is still a part of the whole. That's what a corporation is. That's what a citizen is. A citizen of the state of Wisconsin may travel from one coast to the other coast, but nonetheless, that is merely just a stream of water that is a part of the state of Wisconsin, a representative, if you will. That's how corporations work. All right. That's why legal entities, artificial persons, are necessary. All right. For a perpetual existence. That's why. Now, the honor of originally inventing these political constitutions entirely belongs to the Romans, the Roman civil law, the Roman cult. This is where it all came from. They were introduced as, I'm not going to try it, who finding upon his, accession, the city torn to pieces by the two rival factions of Sabians and Romans, thought it a prudent and politic measure to subdivide these two into many smaller ones by instituting separate societies of every manual trade and profession. they were afterwards much considered by the civil law, in which they were called universitates. I'll say it like that, as forming one whole out of many individuals. Listen, or collegia, from being gathered together. They were adopted also by the canon law for the maintenance of ecclesiastical discipline. Listen, and from them our spiritual corporations are derived. Come on here. Can you say church today? Huh? Listen, but our laws have considerably refined and improved upon the invention, according to the usual genius of the English nation. They're taking full credit. They capitalized on the Roman system, and they're taking the credit for being the geniuses behind what you are enjoying today. Listen, particularly with regard to sole corporations. Hear me. I'm gonna get off with this. This is where. Okay, you're welcome. Listen, consisting of one. Okay. Particularly with regard to sole corporations. Listen, consisting of one person only, okay, of which the Roman lawyers had no notion, okay? Their maxim being that, okay, I'm not going to try it, though they held that if a corporation originally consisting of 3 persons be reduced to 1, it may still subsist as a corporation. So an individual sole is considered a sole proprietor corporation, right? Okay, listen, but nonetheless, if you have 3 persons in a corporation and in one, they're still considered a corporation. Now watch this. Oh yeah, watch this. Before we proceed to treat of the several incidents of corporations as regarded by the laws of England, let us first take a view of the several sorts of them. Let's look at them, and then we shall be better enabled to apprehend their respective qualities. Listen, come on, y'all. Come on. Watch this. Watch this. The first division of corporations is into aggregate and sole. Corporations aggregate consist of many persons united together into one society. Can you say a state? That is a corporation aggregate, where many persons, all the citizens, unite together into one society. That's a corporation aggregate, and are kept up by a perpetual succession of members, so as to continue forever. That's your state. Listen, of which kind are the mayors and commonalty of a city, the head and fellows of a college, the dean and chapter of a cathedral church. Corporation sole consists of one person only and his successors. You better catch that. Listen, I'm going to say it again. Corporation sole consists of one person only and his successors in some particular station. That's status. So it's the person, me, and it's my successors. That is a corporation sole. And then our status is our state of being, whether we're Negro and thereby slaves. That's our status. But we're corporation sole. It's me and my bloodline, me and my lineage. That is the corporation sole. And that's why you have what's known as a family name. The family name is the corporation sole. Oh yes. Glad you stuck around, aren't you? Corporation sole. That is your station, your status, the status. What family line are you in? We're the blacksmiths, so therefore we work with metals. You see what I'm saying? We're the what's the other one? Popular one. We're the smiths, right? That's our station. Everybody in the whole community knows what we do by our last name, our family name. You got it? That's what's going on here. That's a corporation sole. All right. Who are incorporated by law. In order to give them, listen, here it comes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Watch this. Who are incorporated by law in order to give them some legal capacities and advantages. Particularly that of perpetuity. In other words, your family, your lineage, your line lives on forever as long as that last name is there. That's what it is. Listen, we gotta go over this real quick. Listen, corporation sole consists of one person, that's you, okay, and his successors. How do you know the successors? How do you know my successors? It's based upon those who carry the family name and thereby carry the family's status or state or condition of being. Listen, who are incorporated by law. What is incorporation? That is the legal process to create a separate entity. Something that represents us all. So what it looks like is this. What it looks like is this. Okay, so there's me. This is my given name. That's the given name. Okay, you want to know what your given name is? Your given name is your first and your middle name. That's what it is. Okay, so start exercising. What is your first and middle name? That's what your name is. The last name is called the family name. And this establishes your status or state of being. That's what that does. It tells what role you play in society, what rights you have or do not have. Remember, Dred Scott. Dred Scott. They knew who he was, right? They knew, well, basically his status and condition was that of a slave, a Negro, the Negro slaves. That is a designation, a status attached, okay? And so your given name is the first and middle name. The last name is the family name that tells the status, okay, that you have. And so what it was saying is that, let me get back. Where was I at? The corporation sole, okay, consists of one person. So here's the corporation sole. Let me draw this out for you. This is the corporation sole. Boom. That's the corporation sole. Me and my lineage. That's the corporation sole. And it says it consists of a person and his successors, my line of Scots. Okay? Here's the person and then my line, the family name. And it says, in some particular station or status, am I a slave or am I a free man? You're going to know by my status under my name. Okay? And it says, so that's my station, in some station. Who are, it says, incorporated by law. Okay? So what does the law say about the person and his station? Okay, that's what they're saying. You're incorporated by law. And then it goes on to say, in order to give them some legal capacities and advantage. So it's all based on the person and it's based on my name. Okay? It's based on the person, it's based on the name. This is a sole corporation. Okay? This is my lot in life, they call it. My social standing in life, social status in the community. That's what it is. That's a sole corporation. Okay? Now, let's go back. And it goes on to say that it gives you legal capacities and advantages. Okay? So based upon my name, it tells my ability. That's what a capacity is. It tells the ability I have in the society or in the community. And the advantages, or in the case of a slave or what have you, it tells the disadvantages. It's all based upon the title. Okay? Which it says in their natural persons, they could not have had. Listen, y'all. They just made the distinction. This is Blackstone here, talking about persons, legal persons and what have you. It says in their natural persons, they couldn't have these capacities and advantages. So that tells me right there that this is something separate and distinct from the natural goings on, the natural happenings under natural law, under the natural order. Does that not say that? Is that not what that's saying? Because they couldn't have it, right? Unless they were considered a sole corporation or corporation sole. You wouldn't have the legal capacities and advantages. You would not have perpetuity, meaning once the last Scott or whatever your last name is dies, your name dies, your inheritance dies, your estates dies, everything dies. So this is why they needed to create artificial persons, because without you, the state doesn't live. So if the last person dies in your state and there is no corporation, there is no artificial persons, then the state dies too. And that's not what they want. They want this word right here, perpetuity, which in their natural persons can't have perpetuity. Natural persons don't have eternal life. That's what they're saying. Okay? In this sense, the king is a sole corporation. How so, you ask? So is a bishop. So are some deans, okay, distinct from their several chapters. And so is every parson and vicar. And the necessity, or at least use of this institution will be very apparent if we consider the case of parsons of a church. At the original and down here, let me see if I want to go through this. Very key. Very key. I'm gonna skip over that. Let's see. I might let y'all read a lot of this on your own. It's very interesting. You should read it. I guarantee you're going to take something home. Another division of corporations, either sole or aggregate, is its ecclesiastical and lay. This is very important here. Ecclesiastical corporations are where the members that compose it are entirely spiritual persons, such as bishops, certain deans, parsons and vicars, which are sole corporations, deans and chapters at present, and formerly prior and convent, and like bodies aggregate. They are erected for the furtherance of religion and the perpetuating the rights of the church. Lay corporations are of two sorts. This is key right here. Lay corporations are of two sorts: civil and whatever. I'm not even going to try it. The civil are such as are erected for a variety of temporal purposes. The king, for instance, is made a corporation to prevent, in general, the possibility of an or vacancy of the throne. In other words, if the king dies, it has to be able to be passed on in his line, right? There's a succession there, okay? So it says the king, okay, is made a corporation. Remember, incorporated by the law, right? The law states that this is the way it has to go, okay? This is the way the law has to go in order to keep the king and his lineage on the throne, okay? So the king is made a corporation sole in that way, and to preserve the possession of the crown entire. For immediately upon the demise of one king, his successor is, as we have formerly seen, in full possession of the regal rights and dignity. Other lay corporations are erected for the good government of a town or a particular district. Listen, as a mayor and commonalty, bailiff and burgess, or the like. Some for the advancement and regulation of manufacturers and commerce, as the trading companies of London and other towns, and some for the better carrying on of diverse special purposes, as church wardens for conservation of the goods of the parish, okay, et cetera, et cetera. So I recommend that you read this. Let me see if I want. Corporations, by the civil law, seem to have been created by the mere act and voluntary association of their members. Okay, the state, right? Voluntary. They're always saying it's voluntary what you've done. Voluntary association of their members. That's how these corporations are continued, by the civil law. That's how the states are created, provided such convention was not contrary to law. It has to be in accordance with law, therefore legal. That's what legal means. Not contrary to law. The law permits it to do it. For then it would be illicitum collegium, okay? It does not appear that the prince's consent was necessary to be actually given to the foundation of them, but merely that the original founders of these voluntary and friendly societies should not establish any meetings in opposition to the laws of the state. But with us in England, which is where we in the United States, follow after, the king's consent is absolutely necessary. See, the state has to actually give you permission to incorporate, right? In your state, to form a corporation. See, it's the same as it was in England. The king has to give consent to the erection of any corporation, either impliedly or expressly given. All right, we're going to do about a few more minutes. The king's implied consent is to be found in corporations which exist by force of the common law, to which our former kings are supposed to have given their concurrence. Common law being nothing else but custom arising from the universal agreement of the whole community. What is common law? Custom that the whole community has agreed on. That's all common law is. Of this sort are the king himself, all bishops, parsons, vicars, church wardens, and some others, who by common law have ever been held to have been corporations. You see that? And this incorporation is so inseparably annexed to their offices that we cannot frame a complete legal idea of any of these persons. But we must also have an idea of a corporation capable to transmitting utility, right? His rights to his successor at the frame of time. Another method of implication whereby the king's consent is presumed is as to all corporations by prescription, such as the City of London and many others, which have existed as corporations. All right. So with that being said, this is a great read. I recommend that you dig into that, tear it apart, regurgitate it over and over again until you get it. Okay, this is very key and very important. What I just dropped here at the end of this this upload during this live. Listen, this is our final show. All right, we are completely done as far as this content, this teaching here on the YouTube channels. We are moving to our Patreon exclusively. If you would like to join us over there, if you like this type of teaching, this type of unearthing, uncovering the actual truth, all right, if you're done with conjecture, if you're done with trying things, being disenfranchised by misinformation, all right, by so-called gurus, this is a great place to get an education. We're going to be over at patreon.com/KnowledgeWell for you. All right. So we hope to see you over there. All right. We will no longer be here, so don't come looking. And yes, we will be taking down content from our YouTube because that will be proprietary information from this point on. And we will be merchandising it. All right. This is one way that we're going to be able to support ourselves to continue to provide these type of educational sessions. Okay. So we will be organizing the content by labels, by titles. Therefore, you'll know exactly what it is that you need, okay? And you'll be able to go directly to that, all right? So we have a lot of exciting stuff coming. So please pay attention, all right? You can always contact us still at the KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. If you find yourself lost today, if you feel a bit disenfranchised, a bit upset at the disinformation, misconception, misunderstandings, I would strongly recommend that you get a consultation with us. At least what we can do is hear your particular situation, your individual situation, and then we can provide an education in the way that will put the light back where it's supposed to be. Your focus may have been on Treasury Direct accounts, Social Security accounts. It may be on UCC ones, but I can assure you, just as surely as I'm sitting here, that you are putting the cart before the horse. We talked, if you go back in the beginning of this video, we started on status correction. What is status correction? If you don't know how to define status, then you don't know what status correction is. If you don't know what status correction is, then you should not be claiming to be a creditor. You should not be trying to own the name because the name does not belong to you. If you want to own a name, then all you must do is create one. That's it. You have the right to patent, to copyright. You do. But don't try to own something that does not belong to you because that, by definition, is considered fraud. And no, they have not started stomping on people yet. But they are beginning to. They're going to. They're going to. Mark my words. Okay. So what belongs to the king, render unto Caesar that which belongs to Caesar. All right. That's the best advice I can give you. Okay. And I usually don't give advice. But anyways, if you find yourself a bit disenfranchised, misconstrued, or misunderstood, you're not sure where to go, a great place to start is here with a consultation with us. All right. We can. So I hope that you will take advantage of that. All right. But otherwise, again, we will be over at the Patreon. That's where you can find us. We will no longer be here on YouTube. All right. It was real. It was fun, but it wasn't real fun. All right. Love you all. So let me look at the comment section real quick. Make sure I'm caught up. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Okay. AMD, if y'all want to know where the Constitution comes from, read the book of Deuteronomy in the Bible. Okay. All right. Bring the heat. Okay. You are heir to the decedent estate. You are heir to the decedent estate. Greetings. Okay. Kimberly. There are 2 products of conception: the baby and the infant placenta. You took the baby, and the Northwest Ordinance prohibits the ownership of people. What was the hospital in possession of? Okay. AMD, the placenta created your deceit. Okay, your mother, father failed to register the baby and merge the accounts. This is where your studies should be. This will make you free. I don't know about that, my man, or AMD. I don't know about that. I mean, people have been saying that for a long time. That is not hidden information, but where's the remedy? All right, you're saying human in etymon online. Human means of or belonging to man. Okay. Wiggly, love your work. I get tripped up on the verbiage, and it's probably my biggest setback in the learning. No problem. Stick around. Do the consultations. We provide education. We provide services. You know, so it's not a problem. Just stick around. Keep going. Get on over to Patreon. Join up. Is this information in a book? If so, what book are you reading from? Excerpt from. Okay, so that was from. I think did somebody put it on there? Yeah, the Oxford edition of Blackstone's Commentaries on the Laws of England. So it's here. Heather. All right, Daphne Quinn says, yes, heaven is here in earth. Yep, it is here. Okay, yeah, you ain't going, yeah, okay. I'll just leave that one alone. Wiggly says, what are you reading? Okay, again, from Blackstone, the laws of England, right here. Okay, Cash Luciano says, bro, I need to contact you. Absolutely. I put it up there, knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. Look in the description of any of the videos while they're still up. I'm taking everything down. I'm gonna start taking everything down probably tomorrow, tonight, maybe, from YouTube. All right. All that stuff is coming in-house, proprietary. All right. If you want a consultation, yeah. So BB Productions is putting the information and the links in the comment section. So please pay attention. Okay. You're welcome, Terry. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for participating. All right. So the Cash App is here. I'll put it up right there at $ American Consulate. Okay. That's how you can donate. Otherwise, you can go to the Square site as well. Yep, it's in the comment section. Yashar Allah says fire. All right, awesome. All right, so with that being said, don't forget to get over to Patreon. We are done here. My job is done here. So that's where we'll be. All right. And it's been a fun ride. It's been a real ride. But it ain't been a real fun ride. And so, yeah, I'll see you. Look for more information. If you did not subscribe to the newsletter, I would do that. Look in the Square site, and the link for that is there. Whoops, almost fell back. The link for that, for the Square site, is right there. Oh, that's how you donate. But the Square site, you can find their information. Look at the bottom of the page on this at the Square site, and you'll be able to drop your email there for the newsletter. I'm going to start doing that. That'll keep you abreast of what's going on, what's new, what's trendy, what's the latest here at KnowledgeWell Media, the university, Amernet Law. We're starting another business as well. You'll know more about that the closer you stay. Yeah, so that's what it is. Let's see here. Fred Mitchell is asking, do you provide SPC educational info? In our own way. I don't believe in this secured party creditor. There's really no such thing. That was something that was made up. You can be a secured party, but it doesn't say anything about being a secured party creditor. That's made up. But in our own way, I'll just say, we believe in focusing on, you know, not putting the cart before the horse. First of all, it has everything to do with your status. That's what's important. Okay. So if you want information on that, just hit us up at the KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U @gmail.com. Kimberly, love you as well. One love. BB Production. Okay. So with that being said, I'm tired. I'm winded. I think I gave, for this final installment, I gave my all. 2 hours and 50 minutes. Okay. AMERNet law, not Amer. Did you say AMERHIT? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, AMERNAT. Short for American National. So AMERNAT law. Yeah, you can reach out to us about it. Oh my goodness. All right. Anything else? Got to get going. Yeah, the website, Square site. Anyway, it's been real fun. You know, love you all. Appreciate you all of you that did what you could. Please feel free to, again, donate. Find us over at Patreon. That's where we will be. Okay. Patreon.com. All right. Time for me to go get something to eat. Tired. But yeah, so look for the other YouTube channel. I'll try to put up information on that as however I can. But yes, we will be pulling this one down. So take what you can until it's down. Give credit to where credit is due. I don't know what else to say. But we started here on YouTube back in 2015, I want to say 2014. And so it's been, wow, 8, 9 years. Wow. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to sign off for the last time here at KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. And hope to see you all over at the Patreon. All right. Be well. Be safe. Love you all. And now, for the last time, you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? We'll see you soon on the other side, perhaps Patreon. All right. Right away. There's already content over there. So enjoy. We'll talk to you soon. And now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Talk to you soon. Love you all. Peace. Make it a great day. Bye.
Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site.
Oops. See ya.
Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it? This is the age of enlightenment. Blinded eyes and minds are beginning to see and analyze what has been presented as truth, but is now being exposed as merely presumptions and constructions of men, amid a perpetual and multi-generational power grab. The modus operandi for those biggest players in the room being hidden knowledge and procedural legal methods, out of the reach of those experiencing generational and economical challenges and subjugations through predetermined wealth gaps and mediocre substandard education. The only path through and out of this, at times, self-induced blinding tunnel of darkness and depravity is the very path the elite have traversed throughout time immemorial, howbeit intentionally covering their footsteps in the attempt at preserving its effectiveness and potency. That path, or yellow brick road, being a composite of three elements: knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Wisdom being the preeminent element, as it is the wage for what one thinks they know, and after acting upon it, coming to an understanding of what is actually true. The truth is here. KnowledgeWell Media is your one-stop shop, researching, explaining, and presenting each.
What do I do? What do I do? I'm lost.
Yeah, Dante. In the land of darkness, the flame is king. Can't change the world until you realize it starts with the change in me. No more living amongst the shadows, wandering aimlessly. Cause when you living without knowledge, you live dangerously. And if you can't read by